Countdown. It's almost time. It's time. See, I know. Because there's no first round or second round yet. Man, I got to tell you right now, let me get into this right now, because mainly, the 49ers are mainly picking for the future. Unlike some teams in California, we realize that picks in the draft are assets that should be utilized at some point to refurbish your team and keep you sustainable. I ain't gonna mention no names. Countdown NFL draft. But hey, here's the thing. You take a good look at the red and gold roster. Even with the player losses during this offseason, the unit still looks stronger than most around the league. What is special about the Niners is how in previous years overall, they've done their best work in the middle or to late rounds. GM Lynch and his merry men can actually hang loose and gamble a bit more than usual during this particular year with their selections, which could make things very interesting. You see, because it seems sometimes, you look at what the 49ers do as far as those are really intelligent choices they're making out there. They're not just, shots in the dark. 49ers have people out there. We have people out across just checking out. They find players that I wonder, well, how come the team that picked before us didn't know about this? Every year I say that. Wow, how Blaine not know about that? Okay, good. And some, when you see, later on, it's hindsight too, but you do notice that, wow, Fred Warner's the best example of all time. How did Fred Warner wait till the fourth round? How did George Kittle wait to the fifth round? This is just something that's just really bizarre. But anyway, I look for you guys to be gambling and go a little more risky, because there is no risk this year because we're stuck. We're tough. We took care of all our gaps pretty much in free agency of players that are going to start most likely. But then again, tonight we'll go to the phones for your take on what could be a relaxed 2023 draft for the Niners due to past drafts being solid. But what is the possibility of the Niners selecting a hidden gem that could take a starter's job? And we'll be saying things like during camp, whoa, look at that. Oh, man. Somebody's got to worry about that dude starting. And, I love doing that. I said that about Womack last year. Kyle tried to start him. They tried to start him. Brock Purdy news, by the way, on Friday night. Mrs. Purdy's baby boy took in a baseball game. He enjoyed a standing ovation at Oracle Park during the Giants game. An even better view that Brock was made available was this by the Giants' official Twitter account, and then shared again by Matt Maiocco of NBC Sports Bay Area. The video got Matt all pumped up, made him a little crazy, actually, because he took from the video as being notable that Brock had no issues waving to fans. Thanks. Don't really stop, please. Thanks. Brock was out there, because he got acknowledged like he did. And he had no issues waving to fans while delivering a handshake slap to someone in a seat in front of him, all with his right arm. Keep in mind, Brock Purdy, surgery on March 10th to repair that UCL tear in his right elbow, his throwing arm. It appears Brock's out there high-fiving and everything else. Boy, the last thing you want to do is be slamming hands with anybody. And Brock, I really would appreciate if you use your left hand. You think about that. Bam, 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 bam. Stress. But it appears to be recovering pretty well. But anyway, the Niners actually have a history of successful drafts since Shanahan arrived. No, I didn't say perfect. I just said success. Fam, what we have to do, I know our standards are up here because we are better than the rest. But still, we need to chill out. Because a lot of teams are worse than us. There are probably a few teams. Look at L.A. I can always use it. When I need a bad example, always go to the Rams. But when you look back on the picks and the current strength of this roster, it's impressive. It really is. despite criticism of their 2017 first-round misses, of which we're all still pissed off about, and the insistence on selecting running back after running back, there is no denying Lynch and Shanahan have continually found pivotal contributors via the draft. That's why we're strong as we are, and that's why when you use the term, they build the team the right way. They're talking about us. Us. You know? Because we're not going to be sitting in the dark for the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years like our Southern California counterpart. See, they paid the price, and they got their bowl. Okay, fine, that's good, awesome, great. You'll be holding on to that trophy for the rest of your natural life. Anyway, this year the odds of them doing so are somewhat decreased, given they do not have a selection until the 99th pick in the third round as a result of the trade that netted T. Lance in last year's midseason move for Christian McCaffrey. The Niners still found starters last year, despite not having a selection until the second round. You see, that's what we do, you know. Spencer Burford, after splitting time with Daniel Brunskill as a rookie, he will start at the guard position in 2023. You see, that's, you know, look, Aaron Banks last year. You know, we talk badly about our offensive line and do something about the offensive line. They have been. We just haven't acknowledged anything. Brindle's a Pro Bowler. I know we don't think a lot of him, but the rest of the league does. You know, we gotta learn to appreciate and stop being so critical about everything. But we're going to do it anyway. I know. I'm just saying. Brock Purdy will be the favorite to start at quarterback if he can recover from his torn elbow ligament in time for Week 1. Another draft pick. Who the world? You know what though? That went against. What were the odds? I mean, you could probably, if you calculate it, it'd have to be 4 or 5 million to 1 that you're going to get the last pick in the draft. He is a quarterback. And he's going to come in and go all the way in the playoffs, and if not for a broken elbow, he might have won the Super Bowl. That's never going to happen. Fam, that may never happen again in our lifetimes. It will never happen again. Even as well as it did, I can't see it happening again. Tom Brady wasn't the last person picked in the draft. He's considered the GOAT. Well, there's an argument, but I'm still. And the Niners do have plenty of shots to take this year, too, by the way. We're taking 11 selections, but with 8 of them on day 3 and nothing resembling a premium pick. So the Niners will be facing a difficult challenge to find key players in this particular draft. In a year when they will again miss out on the players seen as the best in class, but will have plenty of opportunities to prove their scouting prowess by uncovering some day 3 gems. We got plenty of them, fam. We got, our roster's loaded with them. So, fam, here's a question. What would represent another successful draft for the 49ers? Before you answer that question, though, on this Sunday before the Thursday 2023 draft, brace yourself because, fam, I promise you, the Niners going to draft a running back and a wide receiver, too, or both. Just get ready for that. I'm just hoping if they are drafting up, that's not what they're drafting up for. Get a tight end, Kyle, John. If you insist upon doing that, an offensive lineman, you might as well go ahead and get something that's good. Because the right tackle, I understand. Whoever comes into play is he's not going to be able to beat out the guys we have playing the right tackle. I can't imagine that. If they did, I think they have to get a first rounder even to be able to do that. So, running back, wide receiver, or both. We won't like it, but Coach Shanahan does not give a rat's booty. The boy marches only to the beat of his own drum. You know what, though? Okay. I'm not going to talk bad about Shanahan because you guys, you talk bad about him all the time. I try to stop. I always feel shame talking about Shanahan. The guy, no matter what, we've won a lot of games since he's been there, and we weren't winning any games before he got there. Shanahan values both those positions, though, highly, and there has not been a draft during his tenure in which the man has not selected a back or a receiver. That fetish of his could be considered more acceptable this year, though. It is well documented that the Niners do not necessarily need to find starters in this draft, but yes, the case could be made for doing so for a right tackle and a kicker. Zane Gonzalez, Zane has people thinking, Oh, man. Because you know how nervous you get when the kickers walk on the field? That's why Robbie's already told me, man, I'm not coming back to San Francisco. You know, they don't want to talk about no money. I'm the one who saved it, but I'm the reason why they went to where they went to. And I told them, I'm away from my family. Give me some money. When I said, no, Robbie. And Robbie said, okay, fine. I'll go play for Chicago. The draft picks are plenty. The Niners own in 2023, round 3. Pick 99, round 3, pick 101. 99, 101, 102. We got 3 in a row with those third round. Well, not nearly 3 in a row. They're really close apart, right? They're close together. Round 5, pick 155. Per the Dolphins. Thank you, Dolphins. Those others are compensatory. Round 5, 164. Round 5, 173. Compensatory. Round 6, 216. Compensatory. 7. The Broncos. Round 7, pick 247. Round 7, pick 253. Compensatory. Round 7, pick 255. Compensatory. These are coming in again next year, too. You know, we got, the 49ers, wow. The Niners don't need all those picks, though, families. That's what I'm betting you right now. There's no way in the world that John is sitting there. You know them. They're not going to sit there and pick up all them picks 3rd, 5th, and 7th round. They're going to package those. I guarantee it. And if I don't, I will, what is the worst food in the world? I will eat a can of green peas. I can't tell you how bad I hate canned peas. I'll do it. If they don't pick, I will do it right in front of you. But you know what? Here's the thing. We got some visits this year from cornerback Lance Boykin, Coastal Carolina. What do you think of the chances of that, fam? You like him? Big Show. You know what? Big Show. I'm thinking. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. Jair Brown, Penn State. Defensive end, Yaya Diaby. I like that dude out of Louisville. Safety Jordan Howden, Minnesota. Rashawn Johnson, Texas cornerback. Stephen Jones. Running back Rashawn Johnson's running back. I'm sorry. Texas quarterback Stephen Jones, Appalachian State. We've gotten a couple players from that school. I'm not sure what draws the 49ers to Appalachian State. Tight end Cameron Latu of Alabama. I like Bama products. I don't care what position he plays. He plays a tight end. He's from Bama. That's my target right now. But also I noticed that he's probably going to go soon. He's not going to be around for the 3rd round. He goes to Bama. As soon as you go to Bama, you've already got a resume. Offensive lineman Antonio Mafi from UCLA, local product. I don't like that division. You know how I feel about the SEC versus the rest. Linebacker Marty Mapu, Sacramento State. They say he could be the next Fred Warner. I don't know why. I need that explained to me. I didn't see him play. Wide receiver Jaden Reed, Michigan State. Defensive end Tavares Robinson, Ole Miss. Tight end Ben Sims, Baylor. Cornerback Terrell Smith, Minnesota. These guys that all 49ers have been talking to and have paid visits. Dante Stills, West Virginia. Quarterback. Dorian Thompson Robinson. Don't tell Jalen about Dorian Thompson Robinson. He gets emotional. You know what, though? I don't know. I don't have anything to say about Dorian. Wide receiver, Dontavian Wicks, Virginia. Tight end, Braden Willis, Oklahoma. Tight end, Joel Wilson, Central Michigan. I do like Diaby. You know, my scouting on college players is limited. I don't check them out a lot. I just can't have time. But I did check out Yaya just because of his name. He was a late bloomer, wasn't even recruited in high school, and instead he landed at Georgia Military College after adding weight and size during his time in the junior college ranks. Diaby transferred to Louisville, where he continued his upward trajectory. Oh, man, in 2022, Diaby racked up 14 tackles for loss, 9 sacks for the Cardinals. And that tells me he's a natural beast and just needs some coaching. I'm imagining the magic of Chris Kasurik, the guru, the savant, the coach of coaches, molding this kid into a level of excellence that nobody even realized. At the 2023 NFL Scouting Combine, Diaby, one of the standouts among D linemen with a 4.51 40-yard dash. He can go catch a running back even if the guy left him. 37-inch vertical. What WTF? Fam, Yaya weighs 263 pounds. This is an android. A 33 and 7/8 inch arms. He has essentials with an exclamation point. Word is on the street, though, that Yaya is on the Jaguars' radar with Trent Baalke looking to bring him to Florida. Trent typically looks for what Yaya is for his quarterback terror squad. Remember, Aldon Smith was Trent's biggest claim to fame for both his skills as a football player as well as him being a very questionable citizen. Diab is projected to be picked by the Jags in the 4th round in a mock draft from ESPN's Jordan Reed. That was published last week. He ain't getting to the 4th round. 49ers, don't let that happen. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Get him. Ben Sims, I'm thinking that's realistic for the 49ers as a tight end. He's returning starter from Baylor. Baylor's a good school. They turn out good products. This season, Sims played in 12 games and started 11 of them. He exits his career as Baylor's all-time record holder for career TDs by a tight end with 12. Really? Because Tyler Kroft missed 2 passes this year. I still want to slap that. Ranking second in reception by a tight end, 78, and fourth in receiving yards by a tight end, 785. This season, he caught 31 passes for 255 yards and 3 TDs as a senior, also rushing for a 1-yard TD. He's a senior. I like the polish. I like what he brings already, his understanding and moxie. He will not be hard to communicate with by any coach. In 2021, Sims started 13 to 14 games, receiving all Big 12 honorable mention tight end. He finished 3rd on the team with 31 receptions and 4th on the team in receiving yards. This dude was a huge contributor to the Baylor football team. And his 9 career receiving touchdowns are the most in program history by a tight end. He won't get to round 4, I don't think, anyway, but still. Also ranks 5th all-time on Baylor's leaderboard for tight end receptions. George needs some company. He's got to get it this year. Got to. It's a big show now. Yes. Let me get my phones. Well, it's a big show. It's a big show. Show, get in here, show. I got show. I'm gonna do your draft Tuesday for reasons that it's so close to draft and there's no telling what the 49ers are gonna do between now and then. You know our guys. And also, I want to ask you about something else. I'll get to you after we talk.
That is perfectly fine with me. I'm not tripping over that. There's no rush at all either. So, because like I told you, the news changes so quickly. It's not even funny anymore. You know what I mean? So.
No. Because, the 49ers, they move in mysterious ways. You're liable to do something really crazy between now and Thursday. So your sound, where are you right now? It's not the same as usual.
Hang on 1 second. I'm writing on. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, so much better. There's no echo now.
Okay.
So come on in. What's going on with you? What's going to make this draft successful? And coming from you, it really means a lot because the fact of the matter is, this is Show's time of the year. He just shines. What are you thinking?
I think that in order to make the draft successful, we need to bolster up our offensive line, particularly from getting more depth at center on right, because I'm not too confident with our right side of our offensive line. Like Kyle says he is. He's content with it, but I doubt he is. But I'm not confident going in with Colton McKivitz as our starting right tackle, and that's not his natural position. He's a left tackle. I hate sounding like a broken record here, but I really hate when we put players not in their natural position because it never works out for us. I don't understand what they don't get. What part of that they don't get? They need to stop doing that.
Yeah, with tackles, though, and offensive linemen, they're thinking the best talent, and they don't realize he's playing on the left side okay. But, Kyle, John, you guys know the game well enough to know the footwork, everything's different. You got to retrain him to play the right side. Now, how long is that going to take? Mm-hmm. See, that's the thing. They know this. I'm with you. I don't understand. What is that?
So I am not fairly confident with Colton McKivitz going in as our starting right tackle or Spencer Burford as our right guard.
You have an issue with Burford as well? Okay.
Yeah. I just don't see success there this season if we continue to roll with him.
Now remember, you picked up Felix, what's his name? The guy from New York? John, is it Feliciano?
center.
Yeah, he plays
I think he's
guard as well. You know, a lot of people already know that believe John's going to start. I I don't know. I haven't seen him play, so
I haven't seen him play either. Um, but there are tackles out there in this draft that I believe will win the starting job. I have one of them in my mock draft actually in Dwan Jones. Um, the starting right tackle for the last 3 years at Ohio State.
good
Um,
polish, good polish. 3 years,
yeah,
yes.
very polished player, experienced player at right tackle, and has played at right tackle his whole career. There's Darnell Wright out of Tennessee that can easily get it, be the starting right tackle, and so on and so forth. So there are players out there that can win the starting job.
Mm,
Nobody's job is safe here in San Francisco. You're not guaranteed a spot just because you've been here for a long time. The
mm.
starting spot just because you've been here for a long time, and that's been the case with everybody. Like with the exception of a few who we have, and George Kittle, Chris McCaffrey, Trent Williams, Fred Warner. Those guys have earned their starting spots, and that's what we do here. We make you earn the spot.
Mm-hmm. Or,
You
or
know,
or
so
let it give way. Yeah.
just because you're a second year player doesn't mean you have your job is safe. You know, so
It's always
and
exciting to watch
another
that
route,
happen too.
yeah, another route I think in order to make a successful draft this year, it was we need to find a complimentary tie-in to take the load off of George Kittle's back because this dude has been carrying our team for the past 4 years, and his body is not the same anymore. Like he had said in the podcast, he said that it's basically like signing up to be in a car accident. you
I
know,
love the analogy. That, that's got to be about right. That's a lot of crash and boom for a couple hours every week. Yeah.
and we know George Kittle's going to be hurt at least 1 to 2 weeks out of the season.
Yep.
So we need somebody to back him up and come in and play right away.
And
That would make a huge.
show. Let me ask you this though: is there any inline, any tight end that could actually put inline as a blocker? Because the fact of the matter is, I want to see George get the Travis Kelce treatment. Stop making him block all the time because we have inadequate people to come out and do that. And if I want dual tight end sets, that other kid's going to be blocking. You know, Charlie Warner was supposed to be good at that, but they never. Kyle doesn't want to
Uh,
use him.
there's Darnell Washington, who's a great blocking tight end out of Georgia. There's Ben Sims out of Baylor. Um, and this kid from Purdue, I can't remember his name. Um, Cameron Latu is a good blocking tight end. Uh, oh my gosh, I've had him on my mark several times. It's a dude from Old Dominion. He's about 6'6". He's a good blocking tight end.
At 6'6",
And
it's a
yeah,
good target too. You know, all he has to do is run into an open space at 6'6".
I agree with you. I think we're going to be drafting at least a couple of receivers this year to compete with Danny Gray and Chris Conley. That's yeah.
Sounds good to me. And so, what are you doing on draft night? You're watching the draft, right?
Draft night. I'm gonna be watching the draft, of course.
All right. So I got.
if you,
I'll get back to you in about about after the show. Meet it
yeah, for
after.
sure. Let me know.
All
Let
right.
me know.
All right.
Yeah. So shout out to everyone, and yeah, that's the reason. Uh, that's what I feel is going to be a successful draft because we draft a complimentary tight end, which we have been waiting for years.
Mm,
And bolster up our offensive line. Our defensive line is set. Our secondary, believe it or not, whether people like to think that it's thin, is set. We can always draft one more corner
let's
for
see.
depth. Yeah, and a safety position, but that'll be later on in the draft. I don't think they're going to be using those three first round pick or those three threes
Mm.
for those
I,
positions. I think we're going to be
I
bolstering up our offensive line with those positions.
still believe they're going to package at least a couple of those threes, and move up into two because it
I
makes
don't
no
know.
sense.
I kind of disagree with you there because then there goes our kicker in the later rounds, and
No, you don't. You can get
There
a
goes the
fifth round
potential.
pick. You know how many?
There
We
goes the
got how many
potential
fifth?
chance.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We have three fives and 3 7s, and I believe we always do our best work there, and that's where the hidden gems are usually found.
That's true.
Is
We got
later
1 6.
rounds.
You're right. 3
Yeah.
5s,
So
a 6, and 3
3
7s.
7s, 1 6.
So we all those 7s though. We did hit the jackpot last year, but you're not going to get that happen every year. Well, who's to say you're not? I don't know.
Yeah.
The draft is every year. It's just a shot in the dark anyway. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So all right, shout out to everyone.
All right,
Y'all
Joe.
take care.
Good stuff. Talk to you shortly. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. And let's go check. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo.
Oh,
Hey, Ronbo.
who's that? Did I heard somebody? Okay, I heard 2 voices. I thought. Tony, come on in.
John, can you please explain to us why you spent 2 first-round picks to go up and get that quarterback? Yes, we believe that, when you see your guy and he's going to be the future of the organization, we believe that doesn't matter how many picks you spend. So we believe Trey Lance is our future. Really? What about now?
Hey, Tony, you know what's so funny, though? Because here's the thing. The 49ers knew, even back then, they were not going to pay top dollar for the quarterback position. Jimmy became too, and I said this last year, Jimmy Garoppolo became far too expensive for the 49ers as they want to keep that money right around here. If I was a quarterback that just got picked up by the 49ers, I'd be already thinking, well, I guess they're not going to pay me a second contract. I guess they're going to if they pick up another guy this year, I know I'm out of here before this contract expires. This is how the 49ers are going to operate. It's suicidal, but they don't want to spend any big bucks on a quarterback. I don't know. How long do you do that?
DTR, how many times did he come to San Francisco?
Who?
3?
Who?
DTR.
Oh, Dorian.
Yeah.
I don't know. Dorian, I think they want him more so to replace Josh. Josh, I didn't know they were going to put me in this big important game, Johnson.
Do they want him to replace Josh, or are they suspect because Trey Lance had 11 screws in his foot?
Does he still have those?
And he's got similar intangible.
They're going to try to work with him if they do draft him. They seem to like him, like you're saying, a lot, though. But
the quarterback thing is still a big mess, Ronbo.
It's going to continue to be. This time next year, Tony, we're still going to be talking about this. I promise you.
Yeah, but we don't even know who's going to start.
We don't know who's going to survive.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's.
But there was. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do. Maybe it's a big smoke screen in a different direction. You know what I mean? Sometimes they do that. They'll bring players in 3-4 times and then they don't even draft them.
Yeah. In fact, they do that.
They did that. They did that with what's his name, the quarterback at the Bears.
Oh yeah, Justin. And they looked all
Justin Fields, yeah.
Justin Fields, and they looked disturbed when they left Mac Jones's pro day, didn't they? Mac had a really bad pro day, and the 49ers looked perplexed.
Justin openly said he was pissed off. I don't know if you remember, Ron, but he was pissed off royally. So whatever they said to him,
made him think
they didn't do, because he turned around and said, "My goal in life is to beat the shit out of the 49ers when I come up against them." So, broken promises, mate.
Because Justin. I don't know what they're telling me. Mac Jones, they look very disturbed about Mac Jones, and then we find out that Kyle did like Mac Jones. And, it's really weird. So I don't know what they're doing. What mind games they're playing with ball players. For what? I don't understand that at all.
I can't remember for offensive line, right tackle. I was listening to the Krug show, and he mentioned some dude that was playing that came in at 420 pounds or something. Now he's trimmed down to about 350. And he was defensive line swapped to the offensive line. And he said that this guy's a killer, some sort of a beast that wants to rip your head off.
Yeah, but he's got a defender's mentality.
Yeah. For the life of me, I can't remember the dude's name, but this guy, that Krug dude, reckons he's someone to watch. And he also mentioned that other guy that you just said about Trent Baalke. What was his name?
Oh,
Got
yeah,
that funny name.
Yeah.
He said he's another one.
Yeah, you know, I tell you, the guy runs way too fast to weigh 263 pounds. That's why I'm saying, whoa. Yaya Diaby, Louisville, that's a good school too. So, you know, I don't know. I think he's going to go higher than the fourth round.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to big dudes with speed, the 49ers lock onto them like a bald eagle.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like you said before, Trent Baalke, I'm sick of you assholes trying to pit me into the post on these goddamn drafts.
I bet you Trent runs a 49er fan now if they recognize him. Trent, ain't you Trent Baalke? No, my name is Richard. No, that's you, Trent. I can recognize that voice.
I'll see you in the car park, you fucking smart ass.
So, you know, if Trent likes him, though, that's not a bad sign. When it comes to defenders, Trent's not all that bad at picking up defensive linemen or defenders. He just can't pick any offensive players.
I just can't wait for the surprise. You know, every year, I just can't wait for that surprise player that none of us have ever heard of and go, what are you talking? Who is this guy? You know, he turns out to be one of the best players in the team.
Tell you, Tony, I would love to ride with a couple of scouts that have had huge success. I just want to see, as they're sitting there taking notes, I just want to see what the things they write down. What are some of the things they see that they know this kid's going to succeed in the NFL? That's got to be a science. And I mean, it is.
Well, Jack's going to let you guys know you're the surprise guy, baby.
Who's it? Okay, listen, Tony, this is always interesting. Who's the surprise guy, Jack?
No comment till the day before the draft. That's all.
Jack's going to open up his own site. You got to pay Jack for these picks. Okay, Jack, we'll wait till that. All right. But go ahead, Tony.
He's keeping us in suspense, the old boy, eh?
Yeah.
They always bring out one of those players, and I like you said, I'd love to know what the protocol is of some of these dudes that go out there. But I'll tell you what, Chris Kasurik could give him a decent list to look for.
Yes. Although Chris, he's got one mark on him, though. Chris actually begged the 49ers, pleaded with them. Kyle said he was sending him notes and texts. He was calling him, pick up Javon Kinlaw. Kyle, I'm telling you, I can make that kid into a, you know. See, that still resonates. I haven't forgotten that yet.
Hang on a sec, brother. That story's not finished yet.
Well, yeah. In fairness, that's true.
You got to be fair. It's not finished yet. And, you know, this year he's had a whole year of rest. And he's had a whole year to recover, whole off season. So watch this space. And I wanted to just say what Big Show was talking about George Kittle. I heard his father say to him that this off season is the only season that he hasn't come off an injury or anything like that. And he feels the strongest he's ever felt in his entire career.
George, yeah. And it's true. George always comes limping out of every season. That's a warrior. That's, you know, when you lay your body on the line like that each and every week, and at the end of the season, you're crawling off the field. That's just amazing. So,
but,
you know,
Ronbo, the bloody draft's a crapshoot. We don't know what's going to happen. We're just speculating.
And that's the best we're ever going to be able to do. But get excited later. Tony, I'll tell you what, I'll be back Tuesday, and just before the draft, and let's see what's going on. I'm waiting for something weird to happen. I figure Tuesday's going to be that day.
All right, brother. Shout out to everyone. Jack, don't bloody leave us till the last minute, brother. Just spit it out.
Tell us tonight, Jack. Yes.
Shout out
Right.
to the Empire, Ronbo.
Thanks.
See you in the next chapter.
Cheers.
Cheers,
There
brother.
goes- There goes Tony trying to persuade Jack. Merrick in early. Hey, Merrick.
Hey, Ronbo.
Merrick, how you doing tonight?
Good. I got in here early today.
I know. I was just noticing that, Merrick. Well, Merrick, you know, we're wondering, the 49ers have had success that a lot of people don't appreciate, but basically, when you look at a lot of other teams that are pretty raggedy after their draft in the years to come, there's several teams that you think about that have that issue each and every year, and we usually don't. The 49ers have been competitive pretty much since 2018 nonstop. I mean, we're ready to roll every year. If not for the injuries, by now we should have 2 trophies, actually. Easily! Damn it! Okay, but anyway, what do you think they're going to do different this year to be a success in the draft? Because you don't have a lot of high-round picks or anything like that to get the blue-chip players early rounds. What are you thinking?
Well, I don't think we need any of those blue chip first round picks. We do some of our best work in the 3rd to 6th round. And we got plenty of those picks.
Mm-hmm. This is ironic, like you say, though. The 49ers do their best work after the 2nd and 3rd round. And they got more of those picks than ever since Kyle and John have arrived. You know, they may sit back and take all those picks. Everybody could be wrong. I'm thinking they may take, come on, guys, take a couple of those 3s, give up that 6 and a 7, get to the 2nd round. That's probably too much for the 2nd round. Though.
Yeah, I was going to say I could see us moving up into the 2nd round, but we're not moving up in the 1st round.
No. And you don't want to pay that 1st round price anyway. When we pick up in the 1st round, he's a risk of not being anything more than a 4th or 5th rounder at best, and you got to pay him 1st round pick money. We're not trying to avoid that kind of stupidity.
And the only draft I can think of where we hit in a lot of our picks was 2019, where we got Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, and Dre Greenlaw, and Justin School was serviceable too.
Yeah. 2019 was a good year, wasn't it? I mean, Super Bowl, of course it was a good year. Immaturity and a couple injuries, not seriously injured, but DJ Jones, I could have used him in that Super Bowl. I could have used, of course, the missing person, the MIA ever since he first arrived, D Ford. D played out there crippled, and he looked like it. You know? So again, there's a Super Bowl the 49ers should have won. You got a few minutes to go in the 4th quarter. You got a 10-point lead. Protect it. They couldn't do it. I know. It's all Jimmy's fault for missing that pass, but still, if they just could have held that 10-point lead.
Actually, it's all Kyle's fault, Ronbo. You got to get on the new program.
Yeah.
Everything's Kyle's fault now.
You know, it's God.
Risky Tart dropped the INT. Oh, it's Kyle's fault.
Oh, yeah, that's Kyle's fault too. So, you know, we have these bizarre things that somebody prayed harder for the team we're playing, and they just got blessed. There's no way in hell the Rams are supposed to win that game in FCCG. There's no way. There were so many reasons
I think
they
we
won
would
that had
definitely
nothing to
beat
do
the
with talent.
Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, we'd beaten the Bengals earlier that year too. So I'm gonna, this year though, I look forward to those late round picks. They need to get a couple of them. Don't give all of them away because there's always a surprise with the 49ers picking those late round picks. Apparently, nobody, I don't know, they just didn't know. Apparently, because I mean, come on, guys coming out of those rounds and playing good football, and all you people didn't notice. So.
Yeah. And I could see us trading maybe a couple 3rd rounders and 1 or 2 of our 5th are trying to move up in the middle of the 2nd round.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking too. A 2nd, keep 1/3. Because whatever they're going to get in the 3rd round, they could get in the 2nd round and make sure they do. And maybe a couple more choices they may have liked even better. I read already the 49ers are working feverishly on something. And they ain't got to work hard on the picks they got. They're thinking, I understand tight end seems to be a top priority for the 49ers this year. They know George Kittle can't really take too many more blasts, like he's taking car accidents, as he puts it.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't think we'd trade up to the second for a tight end. I think there's enough where you could wait until the third round or maybe even the fourth to get a good tight end.
but what if somebody like Laporte? I understand he is the quintessential bookend for George Kittle. Um,
Yeah. Well, if there's an obvious steal in the second round, I would take him. But I think our priority should be like Big Show said, as the offensive
Offensive line.
line.
yeah, offensive linemen are normally the really good ones are normally in the later part of the second round and third round, usually, unless you got a Quentin Nelson or something in the draft or the guy that we missed out on when we picked out Javon Kinlaw that's had a great year with
Tristan Wirfs with the Buccaneers.
yeah, right. God, we could have used him, because we got to. Well, you know what? We got to find a left tackle, Merrick. We got to find a left tackle to take over.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you're right. If they do the second round, they're targeting a tackle
they're gonna target a tackle or a guard.
because that's so important to what Kyle likes to do. He's got to have people that are light and strong and agile, so he can run his offense, which requires that kind of an offensive lineman. There's not going to be any more Trent Williams.
Yeah.
There just isn't. No matter what anybody says, that's not going to happen again for another God knows how long. He's a generational player. So we'll see. We will see.
Yeah.
But are you going to be excited if you see an offensive lineman's name called with that second pick? I mean, the sexy picks always get all the noise. Defensive end, quarterback, wide receiver.
We're a very complete team. We don't need to make a quote unquote sexy pick to improve our team.
True. And I even said so a little while ago. But it's always exciting to watch that. The thrill of watching. The draft is entertainment. It's no longer. They have morphed that into a extravaganza, something equivalent to the Oscars, the Grammys. Guys coming out of school and the red carpet rolled down in front of the venue. Here comes these people dressed in tuxedos, and their mom is even dressed with them. I said, what is this? Guys, we're talking football. What is this? This is a moneymaker. NFL is making money. Sponsors are going nuts.
It's become the NFL draft plus the NFL fashion show.
Mm-hmm. Of which I understand that some of there are sponsors out there giving away budgets for players and whomever. Usually it's the mom. To get out whatever wardrobe they want to give to showcase that night. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
So.
Are you watching the first round of the draft, Ronbo, or are you just going to...
I got it. I can't stand it. I'm going to be sitting there waiting for a shock or a surprise. And then I'm going to say, see we missed out on, fam? That's what we missed out on. You got to be first round pick. How well would he look? I can already see me now. How good would he look next to George Kittle, okay? And wouldn't this guy take blah blah's job? He would. These are the things we dream about when we're looking at the draft. So,
are you going to go live one more time before the draft, or are you taking time off until Thursday?
Coming in Tuesday, and then we'll go live on the draft day 1. Yeah, and day 2 for sure.
All right. I had a question, but I'll save it for Tuesday.
All right. Then we're out of time. Perfect timing because we're gonna see you Tuesday then.
All right. Have a good rest of your night.
You too, Merrick. And let's go. Here he is. Jack, be nimble. Jack, be quick. Jack, get in here and tell us what we wanted. Jack, you can't make it. You can't keep us in suspenders.
Catch me on the front row. Front row 40. Catch me on the front row. Hey, man, before we start, man, I got to give a shout-out to Uncle 40, man. E40 in the building, man. I'm from Modesto, y'all. I mean, Ronbo knows, Central Valley cat. So back in the days, 49ers, when Raiders in the 80s were in L.A., the closest team to me from Modesto was San Francisco in NFL. The closest team baseball was Oakland Raiders. Basketball was the Kings, Sacramento Kings, stand up, 2-2. But when 40 got kicked out, of the Kings game, what did he do, man? He just made the sickest hit Front Row 40. I want you all y'all check it out. This guy's a goddamn genius, just like your boy Jack. And the day before the NFL draft, I'm gonna hit you guys where it hurts, and another jaw drop, just like Javonte Tank Davis did to Ryan Garcia last night. I'm gonna hit y'all where it hurts. So,
There's all kind of memes about that already too.
so what's the hype, man? What's the hype? What's everybody buzzing about? What do mostly people want in this draft? Because I've been gone for a minute, and who's your crush?
It's the same every year, Jack. The quarterbacks that are overrated in the first round. This is not. Nobody said anything about this being a good year for quarterbacks. There's a couple of projects, and then there's Bryce Young. Am I right? Is that his last name? Anyway, defense. There's a lot of tight ends. Cornerback room is supposed to be the best. It's not. You know what though? There's no Sauce Gardners or anything like that. And I don't know why they're calling it that though. But they're saying the choices are unlimited. And so yeah, it's one of those three positions.
I mean, what position do people want? I mean, it's so difficult. When you got last year was irritating because we had to find somebody in the second round. I said George Pickens. Now it's even worse. We're in the third round. It's like how the hell do you predict this shit? But what do we need? And what do mostly people think what do you think we need in this draft?
This is one time when I'm traveling with the pack, and I do think we need an offensive lineman because Trent Williams is going to leave us probably within the next 2 years. Now, if we have to fill a void on that left side, which is extremely important, well, all the things we've been crying about are going to be amplified by a margin that's going to make us sick. If we're watching the quarterback eating dirt every few seconds, and that's going to be rough.
I hate some people that be hating. And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Papa Dragon for showing me love yesterday. But, when it comes to physics, like he's saying, I don't believe in that stuff because Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, Steve Young, and I could keep going on about short court. It's his time, man. Everybody's different. Steph Curry's different. You know what I'm saying? These short dudes, there comes a time when you get guys that are special that are that size. So, not Doug Flutie, my bad, Brock Purdy, he showed us something as a rookie, man. Who does this second year? He's coming back, so we got to protect this dude. I think you're right. We do need a right tackle, because our right tackle's gone, and we're going to rely on somebody that, is he really better than Mike McGlinchey?
Mm-hmm. That's worrisome, isn't
it? So
Jack, a lot of people don't think that. They don't realize Mike McGlinchey may have not been excellent, but he was there for enough time that he wasn't just terrible while he had his days. But still, everybody does. I'm scared about McGivitz.
So this, the thing we gotta do is protect this kid. We got because this guy's like a magician. He slides. He got that baseball background. He's throwing while he's running on the run to Debo. I'll never forget that throw. That's when I knew this guy was special. And that pass to Kittle against the Buccaneers. I mean, there's so many passes, especially the Ayuk. This is, the first quarterback that made Ayuk shine. I've been screaming out loud like, dude, this guy Ayuk has major potential. But we got to protect this guy like you're saying. We need to go old lineman. I don't think a guy like Steele from Alabama will be available. And if DeJuan Jones from Ohio State, their NFL.com saying he's going. Yeah. If he falls to 79 like NFL.com is saying, then jump on it. Trade up. I think because but the guy I'm gonna go for. None of y'all been talking about, and probably you know what I'm saying. I mean, and maybe you have. I don't know, but let's see. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give it to you guys the day before the draft. Okay, your jaw's gonna drop once again, and this time nobody can take the credit. Because I'm telling you, take this guy. If we don't trade Lance to get a first-round pick and we stick at number 101, get this guy. But I feel we do got to get O-line, right side, protect this kid, Purdy, and because we're right there to go to the Super Bowl, man. We're just missing that piece. That's our weakest link, Ronbo. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we got to do is protect this kid, man.
And you
Unless we trade Lance for some all-star, O-lineman, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? What you saying?
And you can't wait because, as I say, Trent may hang him up next year. If he sees the 49ers are going in the wrong direction, if we have a bad year, don't expect Trent Williams to come back for the year after.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, it's draft week, 5:15 in the morning in the UK. I'm loving live. I come alive this time of the year if it's not playoffs. So, you know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, man, I'm just saying when it comes to this draft, I'm a genius like E40, what he does. You know what I'm saying? What he did right there.
Yeah.
So y'all could catch me in the front row like 40. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to give it to you like Javonte Davis, baby. It's your boy Jack. Love y'all. Keep the input coming. And, man, shout out to you, Ronbo. Everybody with my last 10 seconds, last 20 seconds, jump up in here for draft week. Get excited, baby. Jump up in my call right now. Unmute yourself and give Ronbo a hell yeah, baby. Thank you, Ronbo, for making this possible, for making our draft week so much more just amazing. You know what I'm saying? Give Ronbo a hell yeah, everybody. Hell yeah, Ronbo.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you, Jack. It's always fun. This annual time that you do come in and let everybody know. And Jack, by the way, his record is usually Jack hasn't missed. I'm trying to remember the last time that you were wrong about a particular draft pick that did come into the NFL and had success. So yeah, salute you, fam. All right. Listen.
Much obliged.
Okay. You earned it. All right, Jack. We'll see. Hey, I'll tell you what. Tuesday's gonna be the last day, so you're gonna have to bring it for us Tuesday, okay? Because we're gonna go right from the Tuesday to the draft on Thursday. All right, Jack. Have a good night.
All right, baby. You're one of a kind, Ronbo. You're one of a kind, baby. You keep it pushing. All right,
Thanks,
100.
Man.
Gone.
Thanks. All right. Let's go. And as a matter of fact, the man Jack was just talking about the head of the Dragon Clan. Hey, Papa Dragon! Pop, get in here.
What?
And it's interesting Jack mentioned you as far as your critique on Brock.
My critique on Brock is this: I just keep it real. I just think that it's unfortunate that you get yourself a nice little Lexus and you tear it up. and then
hold on, Papa. I'm still on here, dog. I want to talk to you for a second, Papa.
What's up?
Hey, I'm just saying that Lexus took us to a championship, and that was his rookie year. And the only reason that Lexus got torn up was because a tight end could not block Reddick. And Reddick had the most sacks on the Eagles.
Okay. All right. I'm going to ask you the same question I asked Kruger. And I said, Kruger, who's the best tight end in the game? And he said, Kelsey. I said, would you assign Kelsey to block Nick Bosa one-on-one? And he said, no. The reality is, before Brock Purdy went on this tear, guess what? Jimmy Garoppolo was on a 4-game winning streak.
5.
4-game winning streak before he got hurt. So it's
Bobby,
not like Brock Purdy carried the team to the NFC Championship game. It's not. And I'm not saying I don't like Brock. I love his story. I want him to do well. Okay, but he got injured on a foolish play. Foolish.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with Brock, man. I
feel
what you're
It
saying.
has everything to do.
I know it has nothing to do with Brock. But you got to feel me on this one, man.
It doesn't have anything to do with Brock. What it has to do with is the reality that in the offseason is when players get better. He's rehabbing. We don't know what kind of condition he's going to be.
Did Jimmy Garoppolo pass to Ayuk and make Ayuk shine the way Brock Purdy did?
Elbow, as it stands right now, we have not seen him throw a pass. So if you're going to sit there and sell us that, okay, this is a Super Bowl team, then make sure I have a healthy quarterback, and it better not be Sam Darnold. I don't know if I have a healthy quarterback. That's all I'm saying. If Brock Purdy did not get hurt, if he didn't get hurt, listen, if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt, they had a good chance to win that game. And if he didn't get hurt, he should be the number 1 quarterback, period. End of story. This is the NFL. If you come in and you deserve the starting job. I get that. But he's hurt. And he already had a weak arm in the first place. So if you're going to sit there and tell me, and I just got out of rehab with about 8 people who all of them said that Trey Lance was doo-doo, and none of them see them play. that all of a sudden, just because you get a guy with 8 starts coming off an elbow injury, it's going to be Joe Montana, you're wrong. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Now, if he proves me
Trey
wrong,
Lance was trash before we even got him. Trey Lance is trash now, and I told you guys that.
No one knows. What I said, I asked the question, why is he trash? No one knows why he's trash. You don't know why he's trash. You don't know. But you do know is that we traded 3 first-round draft picks for him, and we got nothing out of the investment. We have spent $20 million on Trey Lance, and we run him up the middle like a fullback. That's what we know. That's the facts.
He has
That's
the own dog. He has the own.
That's the facts.
I'm just trying to politely say,
you don't.
Right now,
tell me the facts then. Tell me the facts.
Kid,
How is
he's going to be even better?
Question. How is Brock Purdy's elbow? How is it? You don't know.
It's better than you think.
I don't know.
It's better than you
Not
think.
even Brock Purdy knows.
It's a lot
until
better
he gets
than
on
you
the field
think.
and
I'll tell
throws
you
the
that
rock.
right now.
You have to throw the rock,
Listen,
don't
man.
you? Don't you got to throw the ball? Is that his job?
And that's all he did was throw the rock.
Can he throw the ball right now?
Injured. That was,
Can
that
he
was
throw
a
the ball right
miracle
now?
hit that
Can
Reddish
he throw the
hit
ball
him
right now?
at that precise
Can he throw the ball
moment.
right now?
He hit him at
Can
that
he throw the
precise
ball right
moment,
now?
that
He can't
precise
throw the ball right
location.
now.
I mean,
He
that
can't
shit
throw the
does
ball
not
right
happen,
now.
Papa. That
It's
shit
a
does not
question.
happen.
Can he throw the ball?
Guys,
Can he throw the ball right now?
Nobody's
Can he
answering
throw
any
the ball
questions.
right now?
You guys are just saying the same things
He
each other,
can
not
throw the
answering.
ball right now. Yes, he can throw the ball
Oh,
right
get
now.
on my phone call
He
then.
can
I
throw
don't
the
want to
ball
talk
right
to him.
goddamn now.
I don't want to talk to you for.
He can
You're
throw
not
the
making
ball right
sense.
All right,
goddamn now.
Jack,
You're not making
And I'm
sense.
telling you about your physics there.
Jack,
You're not making sense.
All right. All right. Bob, go ahead. Continue.
I'm just saying. Where
Yeah.
were we?
Well, we were talking about.
I didn't love Brock Purdy. I love Brock Purdy. I want him to come back 100% healthy. That's all.
Yeah. No,
I know enough about Brock Purdy that I drafted him in the 5th round in my own mock draft. I told you that. I had 2 players right. I had Drake right and Brock Purdy right. Why did I have it right? Because, again, now Trey Lance was injured, so it's the same situation. I don't know what kind of player Trey Lance is going to be. You going to sell me a Ferrari that got busted up in an accident? He's got 9 screws in his foot. Who are you going to trade that for?
Yeah, I thought they got those screws.
Going to get a first-round pick for that? Really? Would you do that? I wouldn't do it.
No,
For what?
You know what? I'm at peace with that, Pop. The 49ers are not going to get anything above a 4th-round pick for. If they insist on pushing this, they're not going to get anything above.
They're not pushing anything. We're pushing it.
Well, the media, whoever's pushing it, that's
Media's
not going to
pushing.
happen.
No, I'm telling you exactly what happened. The Colts is one of the teams that called, and if I'm the Colts, this is how I do it. I say, hey, look, I know you guys are settled on Brock Purdy, but I'll give you a 5th-round pick for Trey Lance.
Right? Because you
That's
guys
how it
settled
happened.
on Brock Purdy. They already,
They
right,
cut in low.
that's easy to see. Because you guys have already said who you want to start. So give us
They
give us
come in
Trey,
low.
and we'll give you this.
I don't, based on past behavior of how they handled Jimmy Garoppolo, which was appalling and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They did the same thing. Oh, we want 2 seconds. Man, you paid a second for him. He got you to the Super Bowl. That's a good investment. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, I'm happy
The only
for Jimmy
bad
just for
investment
leaving
I see right now
is
is Trey Lance, and it's not Trey Lance's fault. The 49ers are the ones that drafted the kid, and they totally had him run an offense he never played before, when the only thing they had to do is just keep their offense the same. And if he throws 20 interceptions, so be it. Peyton Manning threw 28 interceptions his first year. He's in the Hall of Fame now. You got to let players grow, but this team doesn't have the stomach to let him grow, and they don't have the time. So hindsight being 2020, it was a mistake to trade those picks.
Yeah,
they should have been fortifying the offensive line, because what are we talking about today? Offensive line.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it for ever since I can remember.
Yeah, there's no
since Kyle Shanahan got here. It was with John.
There's no head coach in the world, and I told you this. I told you on this site. I said, look, Brock Purdy is tearing it up, but he's making rookie mistakes, and he's getting the ball late sometimes. And if I know this, the Philadelphia Eagles know this.
Yeah.
And they put 5 guys in line, and they say, go get the quarterback, ignore the fake, go get the quarterback. What are they going to do, run the ball 70 yards on us? Mm-hmm. Go get the quarterback.
And that's the Belichick school of how to handle rookies. You bum rush them and force them to do things they have never seen before.
That's it.
Yeah, I know.
And I keep trying to explain to people physics. outliers. Drew Brees is an outlier. He doesn't make sense. Barry Sanders is an outlier. He doesn't make sense. In the NFL, where professional football players are running around at 250 pounds, running 4.4s and 4.5s,
Damn.
and they hit a little 200-pound man, that's not going to be pretty.
Oh.
That's like driving a Mini Cooper in a demolition derby.
You become a crash
It's
test
just
dummy.
the way it is.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're going to have a little guy, don't let him get blew up all the time. And you're not going to have that if you don't focus on the offensive line. They focus defensive line is how the 49ers build their team. Defensive line, and they go back that way.
And they define themselves.
Linebackers. Yeah.
Let me see you Tuesday, and I think Jack will let you go.
Jack's cool, but Jack's just got to just answer the question. Right now, I got a quarterback that can't throw the ball. And it's not like he's a 5-year vet. He's 8 games in. That's just real.
That is.
We don't even know if he's going to end up being our quarterback this year. We don't even know. It could be Sam Darnold. We don't know.
Pop.
Sorry.
Good observations. Rational. I gotta say. Well, I tell you what. Let me see you Tuesday.
All right.
All right, Phil.
Later.
Appreciate you. My best to the Dragon Clan. Bam and boom. Zap. Night, fam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Pop's got a good point about no work this offseason. He really does need his work this offseason and being in his second year. I hadn't even thought about that, actually, because of the way he looked like leaving last season. But he was mostly playing off his own cerebral prowess. What you saw Brock Purdy doing was mainly Brock. There's no way for him to learn the playbook that well, that fast. And Jack, thanks, this is why Ayuk did profited mostly. George Kittle profited more than Ayuk did from Brock Purdy. A lot of those plays weren't even meant for George, but Brock looked for him because he was just comfortable with George. So we're going to find out, though, if he can get any work in during the offseason. But that's a good point Bob made up. He needs to get in and get some work. Hey, yo, Ellis!
Ron Bizzle.
Ellis.
What's happening?
Ellis, we're looking to have more success because we've had pretty much. We don't all agree on the success. What the definition of success is for the 49ers draft, but pretty much that roster looks like it does right now, due to a draft that we always booed on occasion. I remember we were giving out C's and C minuses a couple of years for the overall draft. And here we go. And this is now they've built this roster. A lot of those guys are picks. There are a few free agents here and there, but a lot of those guys are picks. What's going to make for a successful draft this year?
Man, we all share a lot of the same sentiments. The offensive line is imperative, no matter which way you slice it. Defensive line is obvious. We'll acquire at least a guy or two. We need a defensive tackle. We got some guys in the offseason free agency, but we're going to need to get some fresh blood in there that can kind of shadow Armstead and was it McGill? I think we re-signed, and just our other guys that we got there in the interior, and we also got what's his name, Kalia Davis.
Yeah,
so I'm excited to see what. Yeah. All the talk about him, and they drafted him even after him, coming off of that injury. And still having a whole lot of great things to say about him. So I'm interested in seeing how he turns out. But we need to make sure that we can maintain those, those A and B gap protection, guys and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah, very important. And I think our edge is going to be fine. Well, we'll definitely get an edge rusher, at least one.
That'd be
not two. It kind of depends on who.
Like him.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's like we're going to have to trade up to get one of these guys because they're not all going to be on the board. There's a guy out of Pittsburgh. I can't remember his name right now, but I've been hearing about him a lot.
Thank you, Ellis.
Yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, there's some guys that are out there that I think are going to be off the board that are some real big gems. He's supposed to be like the second coming to Aaron Donald or comparable to like an Aaron Donald, potential type guy. And there's just some spots that we need to make sure that we can fill, for future reference, so we don't have to really worry about doing any big contract things moving forward. We're going to get a running back, minimum, and a wide receiver minimum.
Yep.
I wouldn't be mad with getting with 2 tight ends either, but we'll probably get out of there with like 9 picks. I'm thinking at least.
You think that many?
No less than 8, and I think no more than 9 out of the 10 or 11 we got total. Yeah, we're going to mortgage at least 2 picks out of this draft. That's
that'll be about it? Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we'll get the full 11. I think John and our guy Adam Peters and stuff.
Teams may not be interested in helping the 49ers get better. This is what happens after a while. That's why you rarely hear about New England making trades. The perennial teams, Steelers, 49ers, we got away the last couple of years because John and Kyle are, we're just coming along. But don't look for teams to start helping the 49ers out anymore.
Yeah, well, we do have some relationships though with some other teams. Ronbo.
Kansas
so
City.
somebody will do some business with us.
Who do we? You mentioned that though. Nick, who do we?
I think
Panthers.
I think Indy, the Panthers.
Yeah.
There's a couple of teams out there. I mean, not many NFC teams, but we got some NFC teams and a couple of sprinkled NFC teams that will do some business with us. I.e., like you just said, the Panthers. So it's just we're in a good position because I think it's going to be a saturated draft in a lot of different positions where we're not going to have to worry about the first 100 picks are going to be all the guys that we are going to be the must-haves. There's going to be some undrafted guys that I think we're going to sneak out with, and it's going to be. I think we'll get overall. I'm giving a B. I'm anticipating, forecasting, a B draft. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes we are a little hard because we don't really get to see these guys right away. But I mean, if Khalil Davis comes out and balls this next year,
we can forgive him for using the draft pick on him last year. Exactly.
Yeah. Because that wasn't like a. Was it what round did we get him in? Was that like the 4th?
Yeah, it was.
We got him in the 6th, and that was Jack's favorite pick.
So it was 6. Okay, you know what?
Oh, okay.
That may work out then.
So that's not. Yeah, but that's not too bad. That's cool.
I understand he's showing explosiveness before the season ended last year.
Coming off the injury, using the 4th on him. Yeah, and guys coming off those kind of injuries, I think, or just injuries in general, are good because we can have them pop up in the later round, 7th, and come in undrafted. And guys, there's teams that turn their nose up to those kind of guys, but when you kind of understand the severity of certain injuries and stuff like that, and you're keeping in contact with them and their health, and just their physical, their process and how they're doing moving forward, you can take chances on guys like that. And look at Khalil Davis. You know what I mean? I haven't heard anything about any setbacks. No, I mean, I wish we could have gotten Javon Kinlaw in the fucking 5th or 6th, and we could have, had. But anyway, I don't want to talk about that.
No,
but yeah, man.
You're gonna have to have some mistakes. They're just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because that's a long.
Yeah, and the stuff, the stuff with Trey. I mean, at this point, I would be hurt if they did trade him. And just thinking about the overall, not just because of him being a player that I favored, after we lost the Super Bowl and wanted him to be on the team, we ended up drafting him, but just the potential of what could happen and what kind of disaster we could be faced with, hence, Brock, comes back and he's good, and then something might happen, we get a setback, and then we're putting all of our pressure and everything that we got on the hands of Sam Darnold and whatever rookie that we have. Then we're going to be faced with trying to sign another quarterback, who's sitting at home right now or whatever. I just don't want that to be our season. I don't want that to be. I would feel more comfortable if we still had Trey. So We'll see what ends up happening. And Ayuk wants to get paid, man. So I would not be surprised if he was a draft day trade or something like that, so that we can move up in there, because he's the highest, he's the most worthy chess piece right now. I don't want him to get traded. I would say keep him another year so we can get some more out of him, and then his value might even actually go up a lot more after this season.
He's not
considering,
going to. Else he's not going to.
How he's publicly put out there that he wants to get some more, some more touches.
But the ball's in the 49ers' court. He can't go anywhere, and he's not going to sit out like Debo threatening last year. These guys aren't going to sit out. It kills their stock, and the 49ers know it. They can cry and scream all they want to, but when it comes time to play, they'll be there. Because, when you got a fifth-year option still and you're complaining, this ain't Arizona. Kyler Murrayism doesn't work here. And everybody in the 49ers make sure you know that by never yielding to that. So.
We got a little more stones over here, in this organization. The Cardinals are a bit fluffy over there. So, they kind of.
Ayuk will play, and he'll have it, just like everybody else. Going into their payday year, they're going to have an awesome year. He'll do it. And then next year, he'll be asking for Grand Theft Auto. As he should be.
And so if we pick up his fifth round, though, lastly, if we pick up his fifth year, we're able to trade him, and then they'll pick up the team that, just say hypothetically, a team decides they wanted to trade for Ayuk, they can pick up that fifth year option, restructure the contract.
Yeah, because you've already signed him. Now,
so then we can still get something from him.
Sure, ends up being a sign and trade.
Okay.
Yeah. Else we're gonna go.
Okay.
I'll see you Tuesday, and let's get ready for this draft. All right.
Yeah, man. Let's keep it lifted, man. Let's be optimistic. Put faith in the organization, the front office, that they got all the right pieces, and hopefully, guys, we're able to get the guys that we want, when it's time, because that also has a part to play with guys with who is or isn't still on the board. So let's see what goes down.
Yes,
sir. Hit that like, subscribe, man.
Hey.
I know where you're at. Wipe your feet.
Yeah, man.
Let's I appreciate it, family. Thank you, man. And y'all keep it family, man. We faithful in here, so all the back and forth. Let's respect each other's position and however we feel it. But we keep it civil because we all represent the same color.
Exactly.
We all represent the same color, but one last thing. Papa Dragon's theory on physics is bullshit, and he needs to check his ass back into rehab.
Jack does this every year. Jack, all right, Jack. Ellis,
guys,
we're going to go.
Tonight, Jack.
Good night, guys.
All right, man. All right, y'all.
The real 49er James. Come on in.
How you doing, Ronbo?
James, I'm trying to remember this name. The real 49er James. Doing great. It's this is that year. This you know what? There's people thinking that the 49ers are never going to win. We got even 49er fans in there talking out of their minds. 49ers better hold on to that Super Bowl we went to with the Chiefs. That's close. See, this shows you how people don't know or understand. This is going to be the year. You know why 49ers are going to win a Super Bowl this year? Because there are a percentage of us that don't even think it's possible. What's say? How you doing, fam?
Yeah. I'm doing all right. I have to say, man, we are blessed, aren't we, Rumble?
I think so.
To have a coach like Shanahan.
That's debatable by a lot of people. But between you and
I know that's why
I still like him. But go ahead.
But no, that's why I'm saying it, because Rumble. First of all, not you, me, any of these critics that come on your show that talk crap about Shanahan all the time. None of them are perfect. None of us are perfect. Shanahan's not perfect.
No.
He's human.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something that I feel about Shanahan is he's getting better. If you notice, from the minute he started, the year he started, 2017, to today, he has gotten better every single year. He's getting better and better. Yeah, he makes mistakes. We all do. But I just wish that everybody would just give him a chance. I know you get some callers who go, how many more chances are we going to give this guy? Blah, blah, blah. As many chances we can take. Yeah. Jed York backs him up 100%. Put it this way, Jed York is not going to see a Hall of Fame coach walk out the door. And I did say Hall of Fame coach, and I hope you all hear it, because he is going to be a Hall of Fame coach when he's done with his career. He ain't going nowhere. And Jed York already made it very clear he's not upset because we traded 2 first rounds for Trey Lance. He's not upset about it. He knows how the game works, and everything. And if you think about it this way, if let's just say Purdy turns out, and he turns out to be a great quarterback, we didn't really lose if you think about it. What did we pick up Purdy for? We got him at the last pick. Yeah. So if he ended up being a really good quarterback and he ends up being our quarterback for who knows how long, we didn't lose. Mm-hmm. We still got a great quarterback out of all of this. And Trey Lance, the only problem I have with Trey Lance is Trey Lance screwed it up for himself because he didn't stay in college long enough to get his career going. That's where I think Trey Lance made a big mistake by leaving college as soon as he did. I think he should have did like Purdy did, stay in college for at least 2 or 3 years, develop, playing with the big players, college players before he came into the NFL. That's where I think he made the mistake. So I'm just saying,
Could be, because, when you look at the polish that Brock picked up staying in school forever, it was pretty amazing. I didn't expect what I saw on the field, but I guess that's what happens when you stay at school that long, and especially if you're kind of good. He went through some championship situations at school as well, so he knows what pressure is.
Yeah, and it's hard too because you don't. It's a hard thing to deal with right now. If we keep Trey Lance, and let's just say we keep Trey Lance right this year, we don't trade him, we keep him. If he does not win out, Sam Darnold or Purdy, and then when we want to get rid of him, we're really not going to get anything for him.
That's true.
But if we get rid of him now, before the season starts, and give him a fresh start somewhere else, we have a better chance picking up a better, like a 2 or 3, than a 5 or 6. If we, down the road when people find out, well, he's really not much, what are we going to give him, or we don't want him. So it's an iffy thing. It's a hard situation to actually weigh out.
Yeah, James, then you're predicting that that's probably going to be, that transaction might take place between now and Thursday or on Thursday?
I personally think so. This is just the way things are going. I can't say, and I think that people not giving Sam Darnold a chance, and I think, because I've watched Sam Darnold, I liked him when he was in the Jets. Was the team good? Hell no. He went in a bad situation when he got there, so he didn't really have a chance there. And he looked good last year toward the end. And so I don't know. I like Sam Darnold. He's got a great arm. He can throw just as long as Trey Lance can. He can throw that long bomb down the field too. And he can scramble good. He's accurate a lot. Yes. Did he get a lot of interceptions? Well, yeah, that happens. But, I think in a good situation like Shanahan with our players, I think he might be a good quarterback. And I know Shanahan likes him because Shanahan wanted to pick him up when they were going to get rid of him from the Jets.
Yes. 2 years ago, was that? Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. He wanted him. But then what's the team that he went to last year? I keep forgetting.
Panthers.
The Panthers, yeah. Panthers needed him more than we did.
No,
so they fought harder to get him.
Like Sam a while now, and that's why it's interesting that he'd pick up Sam Darnold. I thought they were going to pick up an old veteran. Sam Darnold's nobody's old veteran, and he didn't come here to play number 3. He wouldn't have signed.
No. Come on.
He's too young.
Come on, Ronbo. You really think he's going to?
I know. I wonder what the 49ers told him that he's been so gallant not to say anything, because I said, guys, Sam Darnold didn't come here to sit on the bench as number 3. The 49ers told him he could compete for that job, and Sam probably thinks he can win it. And the 49ers might think so too, because they've inspired him with all that money. So Sam's driven.
Yes, there's no way. No, I'm sorry. You're not giving a third-string quarterback that kind of money. There's no way.
Or he gets cut.
You haven't seen it yet in the season.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen another team do that? That pay that kind of money for a third-string quarterback?
No. That's why I knew immediately. I smelled something up. I says, that's an incentive package? Hell, a lot of quarterbacks aren't going to get a lot of quarterbacks get that salary as soon as they sign on. Like what's his name? That was playing with the Raiders. The kid out of Hawaii. They gave him a $10 million contract. Sam can make 11. So Sam's going to come out there busting ass to beat out Trey, when really it's a disadvantage for Trey because Trey hasn't got the experience Sam does. And that's invaluable in this kind of situation, especially with a team full of veterans. I'm always for the underdog. I want to see Trey do well in that competition, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
Of course you do, Ronbo. Of course, but when you have a team like this, you don't have a time to develop a player like that. You just don't. It's not the saying he's never going to be anything. We just don't have a time to develop, and you have a Super Bowl roster. You don't have the time for that. And so it is what it is.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. But think about this common sense, Ronbo. If you're telling me, I'm listening to everybody every day, every show that you have, you're going to tell me that Shanahan's going to go out of his way to hurt his players because he doesn't want to go to the Super Bowl. He doesn't want to be. Come on, man. This is getting out of hand. Shanahan ruins. He injures all his players. Give me a break. He puts plays out there, hopes they work out. They don't work out. It's human. It's freaking the NFL. Give me a break. I mean, that's just ridiculous. I'm like, have common sense when you guys say that kind of shit, dude. It's just like, it's just mind-boggling, man. Yeah, he's going to go out of his way to hurt his quarterback because that's what he wants to do. He doesn't want to win the Super Bowl. Like, give me a break, man.
He loves getting to the playoffs, and that's it. Yeah,
Yeah, and I'm the guy that has what's his name? Have Greasy as a buddy of mine.
Yeah.
And I talked to him about this.
Okay. Gotta remember that, James.
Yeah. He's my dad's best friend.
All right.
Anyways, I asked him about the Shanahan thing that Tony, the accent guy, keeps saying about how Shanahan only picks out certain players to go with him on the
trips.
Mexico, Cabo. Really quick. No, it's
Reflect
not. What he does, he puts it out there. Anybody that wants to go is welcome to come. He knows a lot of the players do their own thing after the season. They already have their plans and stuff. So he puts it out there, and who can go, goes. It's not saying you get to come, and he doesn't let nobody else. Anybody wants to come, comes. It's just ridiculous, all the things that people say. So I'm asking really quick, please, everybody out there, if you can hear me, stop talking shit about Shanahan. We know you don't like him, but let's move on. Let's talk some more about other things. We don't talk about how great the last season was. You don't get to talk about any of that stuff. We had a great freaking football season last year. Yeah, it sucked at the end, but man, there's a lot of great stuff to talk about. Can't we just stop talking about Shanahan and let's talk about some football? That's all I'm asking. Please.
Well, James.
I miss it. I like what's his name? Like Tony from Atlanta.
Yeah.
When you guys talk, it just feels great. And what's his other name? Phil. I love listening to him.
Phil
got a lot of great. It's just those guys. Yeah.
James,
I love those guys, dude. But
James, appreciate it. Good
right,
stuff,
Ronbo.
and I love the positivity. Listen, Jim, I'll be back Tuesday, and hopefully if you got some time to drop in on us.
You got it, bud. You have a great night.
You too, James. Appreciate you. Night,
Take care. Oh yeah, love it.
And yo, KC.
Ronbo, my man, what's shaking?
Casey, man, we do have our polarizing situations, don't we? We're either on one side or the other. Do you ever wonder if there's a middle? There are those who are pissed off about everything, and there are those that are just delighted with everything. Where's the middle in this? I guess learn when to appreciate and hate at the same time. But that can also be defined as by opinion, right? I don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate that. Casey, we're talking about the draft tonight, though. What's going to make a good draft this time for you?
Getting that offensive line.
I think everybody agrees on that.
Yeah. Ronbo, I like the title tonight of the show, the thumbnail. No pressing news. That's exactly how I felt. Here we are in April. I'm ready to go on another 13-game win streak, Ronbo.
I know, right?
I'm not worried about it. I ain't worried about nothing, Ronbo.
I tell you. Let's get
what
14
I gotta be worried
this year.
about.
You got to get 14 to keep with the
Cardinals?
same pace we used to with 16-game weeks. It was 13-3.
Yeah, man.
Now we got to go to 14-3. 3 losses is our max.
We have an automatic 6 wins in the division. We're going to sweep the division again. And then,
yeah, we just got to be healthy.
I mean, they're at least 12-5. This is a 12-5 team. This is a 12-5 team on paper right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Ron, but my biggest concern is where's Niner Mike? We haven't heard about Niner Mike.
Wait, what?
My biggest concern is where's Niner Mike?
Oh yeah, right. He's usually not. I'm not even seeing him on Twitter, and he used to come in on Twitter every now and then. But I do worry about him because Mike sounds like a guy that could find some situations to get into that he might not be able to get out of, because Mike's a tough guy. You can tell, right? So.
Hey, forget about it. I'll be a Niner Mike tonight, Ronbo. This guy, Brock Purdy, he's the truth, Ronbo. They got him at in the last pick of the draft, and
I do wonder how Mike feels about him.
Jimmy Garoppolo, Ronbo.
Yeah, because he hates Jimmy. But I wonder how Mike feels about Brock Purdy. Because, he loves Aaron Rodgers.
I don't know, but
he's been wanting to get Aaron Rodgers for a long time.
He thinks the Raiders are doomed. They're going away.
They might be. The Raiders don't have they're not crazy about defense over there. They'll score points, though. One thing about Jimmy Garoppolo, they'll score. Especially with
the Raiders had more. They had more double-digit blown leads than like any other team in history last year.
I know, right? You guys
oh
building
man,
big leads.
Imagine being a Raider fan. I can't. Yeah, I can't, man. It's so nice being a Niner fan with, the Reverend Ronbo Sports Show here on a Sunday night. All you Ram fans, all you Sea Chicken fans, you ain't got no Ronbo Sports. That's why you in the chat. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, by the way.
You ain't got no Ronbo Sports.
Casey, get ready for this. I think, was that Chris Hansen that actually paid a visit to the Ramia Sports Show? And Rudy's professing that he's going to have 9 to 10 wins this season. Now, that comes right from somebody who was watching. So Rudy, you cannot say I didn't say that. Somebody witnessed it. Now, if the Rams win 9 or 10 games, that would mean they'd have to 17 weeks. That means they'd have to split with us at least, right? If I
I don't think that's going to happen, Ronbo.
Yeah. Rudy, stop smoking that low-grade dope.
Oh, man.
7 win, Rudy, if you're lucky. But yeah, but the draft. Offensive lineman. Can we get one? Kyle's going to get a running back, and he's going to get a wide receiver. Those are those positions he just really loves. So, 1, 2, 3.
Did Tony call in tonight?
Who?
Did Tony from Atlanta call in tonight?
Not yet. He's in the chat working. Tony likes to work the chat. Boy, he gets in there. He starts battling on all fours.
Hey, what about my boy Shabazz? Where's Shabazz at, Ronbo?
Hey. Yeah. I hope Shabazz is not dealing with people that if he doesn't pay his bets that he could get himself into trouble.
I need the NBA locks right now, Ronbo.
Oh, Shabazz is betting. Guaranteed. He's NBA and in baseball. Baseball and NBA are raging hot right now. So that's what Shabazz is. I don't think he does hockey.
Yeah, it's tough for me in the NBA, betting on the NBA. I do actually better in NHL.
Point spreads in the NBA, I'll never understand. I've seen point spreads as low as 3 points. I say, what?
I could be wrong because I'm kind of new to the MLB, but it seems like the MLB point spreads are the easiest thing in the world because it's only
I can
1.5.
see that.
They're like if you just bet the Rays have been covering like every time they win, they're like 17-4 something like that, 18-4. They win these games 9-5, 10-1. And the point spread is 1.5.
I know, right? Because you see baseball.
There's a lot of teams in the. What's up?
Since they changed the rules with baseball, that there's no lollygagging around, the pitcher's got to get that ball to the plate within a certain amount of time. The batter better have his butt there ready to go. The bases are now larger, so you're going to see a little more offensive. It's going to be a little different game. So now you got to figure: does that mean more runs or what? That's really. So the point spread.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want. I'm sure that's what that seems to be the formula for.
So the point
'Cause the
spread you're seeing
NFL
now,
games
3
are.
points. NHL, I don't know how you do that one though. That's because they'll
Well, you know,
score
Rumble,
four, 3-2.
I was born in '91, and I remember a 10-point lead being a lot stronger than it was, 10 years. You know what I mean?
NHL?
No, like a 10-point lead in the NFL was a lot different than it was,
I know,
10
right?
years ago.
Oh yeah. Oh God, yes. You can get your brains beat out with nothing but a 10-point lead. We proved that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know what else this makes me think of? I'm not sure why, but I wanted to bring this up. The other day, my friend, he said that Matt Ryan was the first $100 million quarterback, and I found that to be a funny kind of random fact.
I think it is. I think that's true.
Sorry, Ronbo, I'm out here in downtown Reno right now. My bad. But
no, I think that's true. If I was in a quiz show,
yeah, right.
Was Matt Ryan the first quarterback in the NFL to have a $100 million contract? I think for a second, I do remember that.
So when I heard that, I was like, yeah, that's right. And I think it was in 2014 or maybe earlier, but these contracts and the numbers and stuff, it's tough to get lost in them nowadays because they're just so absurd. Jerry Rice made $49 million his entire career. Here we have Debo on a 3-year contract for $75 million or whatever.
These are
3 years.
Casey, think about
Jerry
this.
Rice had a 20-year career.
And was one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. And check this out, Casey. In 5 or 6 years from now, you said that goes 91, 94, 95. These contracts will be small. Look, Steph Curry got a $200 million contract. When I first read that a couple of years ago,
I can't believe it. If you look at the projections by like 2032, the salary caps are over $400 million.
Woo!
Yeah.
God. Man. That ticket price is going to go up to watch
That's
the
why
ball
the
game.
Mahomes
It's going
deal
to cost
looks
you
like
money.
a bargain now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we talked about everything.
Yeah, no, that Mahomes deal was a really good deal for the Chiefs, man.
I know, right?
Hell.
In 2 years, that's going to be small money.
Yeah.
Hey, Casey, always fun. We went all over the place. I loved it. T-Bar, I'll see you Tuesday, Casey. All right. In beautiful downtown.
Yeah, that's how we do it on the Reverend. That's how we do it on the Reverend Ronbo Sports Show. Hey, you Seahawks fans,
be the name.
You Cardinal fans that never make a peep, you guys ain't got no Ronbo Sports. Ronbo, I need the link in the chat for the hat. And shout out my man Brunskill. Shout out to you, Ronbo. Shout out my man Jeff Garcia. Shout out Ellis. Shout out all the people. Who else is?
Big show.
I love Ellis, man. Ellis is always like, he's so passionate, man. He's so like, I feel like Ellis is like raising kids every time he calls in.
I do too. When he doesn't answer right away. Oh, man.
Yeah.
But he said, I wait
love
for him.
Ellis, man.
Because, the squad is working it. All right, fam. I'll see you Tuesday.
Have a blessed night, bro.
You too. Night, Casey. All right, let's go get the NFC West favorite guy. He is Jalen. Jalen.
The goop.
Jalen, press another button.
Cliff Kingsbury got the boot. Cliff's Pete still chewing on the nasty goop. And Sean McVay play call like poop. It stinks, Ronbo. Man, what's the word, Ronbo? What's the word?
We're sitting back here kicking back because we know the draft is only a few days away now, and that's pretty much the premier subject matter of the 49ers right now and everybody else in the NFL. And the 49ers, normally, because our standards are high as 49er fans, we grade the 49ers probably lower than anybody else in the NFL. You read the grades after the draft is over, and blah, 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 gave the 49ers an A-. And we're sitting thinking, what? And then, blah, 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 we'll give. And the 49ers are receiving a B+. And rarely do you see the 49ers get a C. Right? I think they did in 21 year. I think they did get a C from a few people. But 49er fans, man, 49ers got a D+ as far as I'm concerned, And so, but this time we're saying, what is it going to take 49ers to satisfy the Niner Empire? What would be a successful draft for you?
Well, Ronbo, I don't want to see any more first, second, or third round picks that sit their first year. I'm tired of seeing that.
Mm-hmm.
Running backs, quarterbacks, offensive linemen, Aaron Banks, even though, it helped them. Kyle, you keep either drafting guys and missing on them, or you're sitting guys that can really help the team better than the person in front of them. And that's a problem. But I'm not going to spend too much time on Kyle Rumble. I told you, Kyle now with me, his contract is over in 2025. Brother, you got till 2025 to win another ring. And if you don't win another ring, you don't deserve a third contract, period. He doesn't. So, I mean, but I think we need to address the safety position, because if Gibson goes down, we don't have anybody. I've said that numerous times, and safety is very important because linebacker, they get to see the field, but safety, they really see like everything. And we need to have somebody back there that, yeah. I mean, Hufanga's still young.
You want to sit on the bench? I'll never agree with that. Kyle, don't talk to him like that. Kyle, you can have Jimmy tell Jimmy, listen, you're going to be my standby guy. If something happens to Gibson, you're going to move right in that spot, all right? Meanwhile, you do a great job for us in the slot. I need you. I need you to do this for me. Do this for us. Don't talk to him like that. When Jimmy got online and said what Kyle said to us, oh, Kyle, I thought you were a player's coach. Why you talk to him like that? So now Jimmy's gone, and he didn't want to. And we got to find another safety. Gibson's 32. How many more years is he going to play? Of course, Jimmy wasn't a young baby either, but
Yeah, Gibson, I think Gibson's older than Jimmy. I give him maybe next year, Ronbo. Maybe. If that's, I don't know, dog. I'd have to see how he looked this year. If he looks like he's his age, then this could be his last year. But if he come back and he's still producing at a high level, I think we can see him another year.
He was the main man last year. As far as INTs, we have not seen since Kyle got here a guy in the secondary picking the ball off like that. What's his name was getting good. What's his name that just left us and went to the Lions?
Spoon?
No.
I know. Emmanuel Mosley.
Emmanuel, yeah. Mosley's kind of sharp. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Gibson came in,
but aside from Richard Sherman, no 49, no current 49er has been better than Tremaine Brock. Even Jason Verrett. I'm taking Tremaine Brock over Jason Verrett. Tremaine Brock was the most underrated 49er we've had in a while. He never got his props, but he getting it from me.
I thought you were too young for Tremaine Brock, actually. But yeah, Tremaine.
I remember Tremaine Brock.
He was our main guy back there. And when he got hurt, I was sick. Because, oh, man, who's going to take up that spot? And sure enough, it was somebody who was not Tremaine Brock. We get sizzled. Man.
Yeah, we had Rashard Robinson. Yeah, he wasn't good.
Robinson talked a good game, though, didn't he? Rashard used to kill me talking trash. I said, Rashard, man, you got to back up some of that trash, though, man. Come on now. You got smoked.
Hey, Ronbo, I know this might just me being like the ego from being a 49ers fan, but I just honestly don't understand like how as another fan you can come and just sit and listen to like another team talk for 2.5 hours. Because Ronbo, I'm letting you know right now, I would not be able to listen to a Rams podcast for Ronbo, who would do that? Who's gonna listen to somebody talk about the Rams for 2.5 hours? That sounds like torture. Torture.
I've told you it's an envy. They're not even aware of the fact that they want to be like us. So they want to come in. This is why they've got 2 championships, Jalen, in their entire franchise history. And Rudy's in here talking like they're running a dynasty. Like, yeah, well, we're better than the 49ers for this reason, this reason, this. See, this is like envy. So that's why I laugh about them. I still take shots at them, but I'm laughing at them because they'll never be on the same in their lifetimes. Jalen, they will never catch up with us.
They won't, Ronbo. I mean, they got 2 rings and they got about 3 notable Hall of Famers. Nobody really talks about the Rams Hall of Famers. They're a bunch of you got Kurt, and I can't think of anybody else. I know Kurt Warner. He was pretty good.
Well, they got
I
that running
guess.
back from the
Exactly,
greatest show
Rombo.
on
You just
turf.
called him that running back. The fact that you can't remember his name means that he is a scrub.
Jalen's quick. He was good. Yeah, he's a good pass catcher. He
Yeah.
was like a dark complexion Christian McCaffrey. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, the Rams.
I had
The
a lot of
Rams.
respect for him.
They really
Marshall
tickle
Faulk.
me with that, Rombo. They
Andrew
some
Stebo.
real clowns. They just, I mean, like I said, Gene D done got real quiet ever since I said it's been a decade since they won a ring, Rombo. You notice how them years just slowly crept up on them? It's
Eric
been a
Dickerson.
decade now, my brother. You can
Double digits.
You can best believe Geno Smith ain't winning y'all no rings. So go ahead, add another 3 to that 10. That's 13. I promise you, you're gonna be touching about 20 before y'all touch another Super Bowl. I promise you. I promise you.
You know? So, yeah, it's about the 49ers remain competitive, especially since Shannon's been there. We've been knocking at the door ever since, and we will knock that door down at some point, probably soon. And
We gotta hurry, Rombo. Because I mean, unlike Kyle is a coach. He doesn't go out on the field and take injuries and get battered. Rombo, George isn't getting younger. Armstead isn't getting younger. All these players are getting older. Our ceiling is eventually gonna start our windows is gonna start to close soon. So that's why I'm saying Kyle has to get this ring before his contract expires, or we need to get a new coach, because at that point we're gonna be rebuilding. And I don't know if I can watch 15 years of just Kyle Shanahan.
You got a good point there. Now, you don't want to rebuild with Kyle, and he wouldn't stay around for that anyway. It's like McVay. McVay's not going to stay around in LA for a rebuild. I don't know if he doing it or not, but that's not going to happen.
His contract.
Go. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, Rombo, as much as I love this team, this team is not going to stay as stacked as it is for long. It's not going to be able to.
Yeah, they're going to try to. That's why they keep trying to refurbish the rosters as best they can. But yeah, that might play out. What are the chances of getting all the guys you got now? What are the chances of getting another Fred Warner, another George Kittle, Debo? These guys don't grow on trees. We're going to find out, though, how good that staff is in the next 2-3 years, though. Because these contracts
Rombo,
expire and they got to be renewed. That's going to be a lot.
One more thing, Rombo, about the Brandon and Debo thing. We definitely, if I had to really choose who I want to keep in the long run, Rombo, we got to keep Brandon, because I went back and I watched Debo's highlights. And in college, Rombo, he was never really used as a deep threat. In college for Brandon, he was used as a deep threat. He wasn't going deep every play, but Debo, I mean, I feel like he might have peaked as a wide receiver.
No. He is what he is, and that's what he always has been. And that's why I've always tell people, every receiver out there is not a deep threat. Throw the ball downfield. Guys, you got to know, you don't just throw the ball downfield to anybody. And a lot of people don't understand that. Brandon Ayuk, you throw the ball downfield too.
Brandon
deep,
can get down the field.
He's intermediate, for sure, solid, because his route running is just gorgeous.
I feel like in a few years we could probably get a second or first round pick for Debo before his contract expires.
Yeah, because he wants a second contract. Jay, we got to go. I'm going to tell you what, I'll see you Tuesday. Let me give you that holler. You go ahead.
Man, we still the kings of the West. Kyler Murray needed 2-year rest. And Gene D and Rudy can keep on crying because the 49ers going to be the best.
Don't forget the Raiders.
Don't forget the Raiders lost to Nick Mullins on national TV. And this just wasn't an afternoon game, a game that you got to catch if you live in the city. No, everybody in the world saw it. Got blown out by a backup, a third string at that. First game in the NFL. Blown out by Nick Mullins. Don't forget the Raiders.
Be ham. Be ham. Maybe he might be doing the Willie Nelson right now too. On the road again.
Ronbo, can you hear me, Ronbo?
I can hear you now. Be ham.
What's up with it, baby?
I was thinking about you the other day. Be ham. I haven't talked to him in a while. Be ham.
Hey, I just been sitting back in the cut, man, listening to the callers as they call in, man. You know what I'm saying? Just gathering, a little information here and there, man. And she, Rumbo. Hey, it is what it is, baby boy.
Yep.
Rumbo, I don't know, man. I'm just waiting to see what we're gonna pick up in the draft. Kind of wish we still had went with Justin Fields. I'm getting tired of if Trey is this, if Trey is that.
Yes.
If Trey had a little bit more experience.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be going through that because we shouldn't have never picked him. We should have picked someone with the experience because of the team that we have. We have a team that pretty much was built and ready to go to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
You feel me? Or at least contend. We don't go out here and waste 3 first-round draft picks on somebody that we got to teach the game of football and who is really just as unavailable as Jimmy G.
And they knew it.
So,
they said he's raw. Why are you saying what does that mean? What do you mean he's raw? Well, we know he's raw. Well, if you know he's raw, what does that mean? When they said that, I had a feeling what they meant, but I didn't believe it. Why would you do that?
Well, this is my thing right here, Ronbo. Barring the injury, Brock Purdy is 7-0. There's no question who the job belongs to next year. You feel me? It's no question. Give him his job. Unless, like they say, unless he's just not ready to go game one, then we got to roll with Trey or whichever quarterback that's best for the team.
Trey or Sam, yeah.
But, let it go from there, man. Hey, other than that, I hope we get something useful in the draft. Kind of like what the last caller said, man. Somewhere they ain't sitting on the bench for no whole season.
2 years or whatever.
We need some play now. We need some play now ready caliber players.
Well, it looks like he could come in if the starter gets hurt. Not be a liability.
It seems like we find those players later in the draft anyway.
Every year.
Like the George Kittles, the Elijah Mitchell. So, I mean, I'm cool with that.
Aziz Al-Shire, undrafted free agent.
Aziz Al-Shire.
Drake Greenlaw.
Hopefully we go ahead and get some ready now guys instead of some developmental guys, man. I don't know of too much of anything we need other than secondary and corners. That's pretty much where I'm.
Yeah. Pop made a point tonight that I hadn't thought about. But Brock Purdy, being the rookie that he is to 8 games, he's not throwing right now. He's rehabbing. Now, is he going to be ready to go even come week 3, 4? That just hit me. That bell went off in my head. I said, oh, I forgot about that. He needs to get some work in before the season starts. Don't just throw him out there in week 4 because his arm's feeling okay today. He needs some time to work.
I look at it like this right here, Ronbo. I watch Skip and Shannon on a regular.
And watching them fight, that's hilarious.
And one thing Shannon Sharp said that is really true. Think about this. Back in the day when he was playing, some of these injuries like ACLs and all of that, those used to be career-ending injuries.
Yeah. Sports
now they got them down to exactly. So with what the injury Brock Purdy had, the world of sports medicine nowadays, who knows how fast they may have him back up and throwing.
And by the way, BM, that procedure goes all the way back to the 60s when Tommy John first got hurt And they came up with that back then, and it's evolved ever since then. So Brock Purdy should be okay, especially when you got the best in the country working on his arm.
I will say this, man. Right now, I've just been watching a lot of our games, and a lot of the stuff we did. We was most successful when the quarterback was in the shotgun on a lot of our plays.
True.
Don't get me wrong. I like to play action fakes out of, from up under center. But that is where a lot of our quarterbacks get hurt at.
Yeah.
We
actually,
need
I think it was every time.
He needs. Hey, I think we need to start. You need to make a headline like you got, enter the draft with no real pressing need. You need to say, Kyle Shanahan needs to stay in the shotgun the whole season, and maybe they'll start listening to him, Ronbo. We don't need people out here getting hurt, man.
BM, one thing about Kyle, as soon as somebody doesn't appreciate what he's doing, he puts more effort into it. He does it more so. It's like Kyle, if you want him to do something, don't ask him to do it. Ask him something else and see if he goes back to what you want him to do. Kyle is
ask him not to do it then.
Yeah, Kyle is look, I'm Kyle Shanahan, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm not going to listen to anything that anybody else tells me to. I've been doing this long enough. Okay, Kyle, okay, but you know what? Your quarterbacks are getting hurt. You need to let them stay in the shotgun a little more often. I do agree with that. A lot of what Kyle gets blamed for I don't agree with, but that shotgun is a savior. Gives the quarterback a little more time on an offensive line. It's not that strong.
Yeah, man. Well, the good thing is, and I don't care what nobody says, Mike McGlinchey won't be there this year. So, hey, let somebody else get the blame this year, man. I got tired of every time a quarterback got hit and I look around, it's number 69. So, I'm glad he's gone. We're going to get ready to get out of here, Ronbo, man. I know you got other callers. And like my man said, the last caller that was on, real quick, Ronbo, that is an amazing thing that a lot of these dummies who cheer for other teams come here and sit here and listen to 49ers talk. I couldn't do it. I don't care to know about another team. I don't care to know what they got going on.
Especially fighting with the people in the chat.
Right. I mean, hey, I commend these dummies. They're dummies. If they're just going to sit here and listen to us talk 49ers football all day long, this their team. And by the way, it dawned on me something else, Romo. We whooped all of the California teams last year, man. we beat all that. And even
the Raiders was the hardest one to play.
And even though the Raiders tried to get out of California, we kicked their ass.
Went to Vegas to get them. That's my favorite part.
Oh yeah. Look, Ronbo, man, enjoy what you do, man. Love the platform. Fam. I know you got other callers, man. I'm gonna get back on this road. I know my phone gonna fade out in a minute. And man, look, I look forward to hearing from you here in the future, brother.
All right, fam. Appreciate you, BM. Always looking forward to hearing from you. All right. Have a great night.
All right.
And say hello to our favorite Rams fan that lives right there with you.
Hey, all right. Hey, if I was home, I'll let him know. But I think he's listening, Ronbo, because he slyway been telling me lately. Hey, you heard Ronbo's show tonight? And I asked him up, hey man, what you doing? Listening to Ronbo's show here, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, so you want to tell me? It won't be long, Ronbo. It won't be long.
I love it. It will. Well, he's going to have to wait a long time because the Rams are in deep trouble. All right, fam. Take it easy out of that road out there.
All right, Ronbo.
All right.
Will do, brother.
Thanks, fam. Yeah. Yes, Red Eye. Excuse me. I thought that was Tommy John. My bad. In the 70s. Was Tommy John surgery first done? Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo, how are you this evening?
Tony, I mean, it's exciting time. Here comes the draft, and I know you're excited because you're one of the draft guys. You know who needs to be drafted in what position, as. So yeah, it's pretty. I don't
Yeah.
know. We're looking what's going to make what calls for a successful draft, and I mean different things for different teams. Because some teams already have a lot of things and a lot of good players in position already, so they don't need to really draft for need. And this is something I've been asking for the 49ers to have that privilege just once. Because every year when we drafted, it was like, oh my God, we need, right? So, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
But
And the talk has kind of died down a little bit, but I'm sure starting tomorrow it's gonna pick back up because we got 4 days
yeah.
till Thursday night, and I did hear an interesting rumor on one of my Saturday morning chats, Saturday afternoon chats, that the Jets want to trade up from 13 to 8 with us. And again, Ronbo, I don't believe this. The Jets are willing to give up their 13th pick, their first round pick, give us Corey Davis, which I want, and they got 2 second-round picks. Give us one of those 2 second-round picks, which is 43, their second round pick, for our first-round pick at 8, and our third-round pick, which is 75. I'm like, shoot, the Falcons got to go for that. If it's true.
Remember though when you were saying the Jets are getting rid of all the receivers, and now look, you're gonna be one of the teams that get to cash in on that.
If that's true, because I don't believe none of these. They said it was an ESPN writer that didn't want to put his name out there. I hate when they do that, Rob.
I know
you said that too.
Yeah, they do that on purpose. I don't know. Yeah, because he knows he's just making that up to get a hit. God.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, well, I don't believe until I see it, and I don't believe it. But that would be beautiful, man. We give up a third-round pick to get a second-round pick and Corey Davis, and we just trade down 5 spots. I'll take that.
I had picked up Corey Davis in my mock draft that year he came out. I loved everything about him. I said, man, this guy's the real deal. This is the kind of receiver we need, Because we 49ers, we get good receivers, and Brandon Ayuk may be the most skilled we've had since Shanahan came. In fact, but Emmanuel Sanders doesn't count because he was not a draft pick. 49ers have not drafted any receiver, I don't think, with more skills than Brandon Ayuk. Debo's a gadget player. He catches the ball, but he's not the guy that's going to run down the field deep and catch a pass. Or he's not going to run a real sharp route to just smoke a defender. But he will hurt that defender a lot like Wade House, Mitch. We had another. What's the guy from Baltimore that we had? He was physical and just running and bumping up against him. You get hurt. Bolton Anquan. I'll never forget that player that time. I think it was one of the Rams too. He was trying to guard Anquan, and he was laying on the ground, rolling around in pain. And Anquan's looking back like, "What's the matter?" He's got the ball, walking into the end zone. he got bolted. Get up, man! Don't let everybody know that Anquan knocked you the hell out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's Debo.
Rudy had made a comment. Rudy made a comment about my Falcons being pathetic. I said, yeah, but I bet you if all of us, this was us mixing up in the chat. I said, I bet you if all of us, even you, went and asked Aaron Donald to look at his current team, I bet you he'd say that y'all are pathetic. I bet you he'd say it.
You mentioned that. When Aaron Donald was mad a few years ago when they got rid of his favorite guy that played on the line with him, and he was he went public with it that he didn't appreciate that the Rams had shipped that guy out. Yeah, so
he's retired now. I remember who that guy was. I remember.
Oh yeah, so yeah, Aaron Donald is the guy that you definitely want to ask about this. And
now you don't have nobody on the line, behind them, or in the secondary. Yes, sir.
So next year, him and McVay both. So this is the exodus that's taking place in LA. So you look at the Rams this year, and they may win 6 games. So now McVay's gonna start thinking, I don't have time for this. I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye here, and I'm going to move on. And as soon as Aaron Donald hears that, well, I'm glad you told me so I can do the same.
Ronbo, I don't see them winning 6 games. Eight starters gone, 8 out of 11, and Aaron Donald might be 9. I don't see him winning. I don't see him winning no more than 2 or 3 games. I can't see it. That's too much to replace.
That would be worse than last year. And how long is Stafford's arm going to? How long is Stafford going to last without at least a little bit of an offensive line? They killed him last year, and that offensive line is probably better than the one they're going to have coming up this year. You can't expect Cooper Kupp to save you each and every Sunday.
And have you heard of any free agent signings in Inglewood?
Not a one. I thought the exits are going. I mean, it's so quick. They got to keep oiling that door outside as people are going to the parking lot. It's just swinging, man. Oh my God, they're leaving us like crazy. I love it.
Yeah, Ronbo. They can't find anybody because they don't have any money.
They don't have any money. And would you think about this? No matter if they did have some money at this point now, why am I coming to L.A.? To get paid? Even if they had money, they don't have anybody to help. So I'm going to be over there just playing to be playing. A football player needs to be motivated, you know?
They're not. They're going to be one of the worst defenses in football. They want 8 starters are gone. 8. That's a huge deal. Aaron Donald and the 2 linebackers opposite, Floyd and the guy who used to play with Seattle, who went back to Seattle. Them are the only 3 guys there on defense.
Yeah. See,
Bobby Wagner.
Bobby. Yeah. You know, that's why. How do you gonna bring in a bunch of kids? How many draft picks do they have? That is really the Rams could be asking the commission, listen, we may have to either move the franchise or just sort of forfeit the entire season. We just don't have enough players to field.
Saying how many times they gonna move? But you're right, Ronbo, and they don't have a pick to the 3rd round. I heard they got 11 draft picks.
They do.
Like you guys, they don't pick the 3rd round.
Hey, then they can they got to use all 11 picks, and hopefully they got some players that are going to be able to come in and fill some voids, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of them, you know. But as far as coming out there and winning 7 and 8, 9 games, that's not going to happen.
No, they're not winning that many. You're going to start rookies? 8 out of your 11 starters? I'm going to say 9 because I'm telling you, Ronbo, Aaron Donald's about to make it or not. He is not going to play with just 2 starters. I can't see it.
Aaron got hurt, and you're right. And Aaron got hurt for the first time. And last year was the first time in his career that he missed a game. I don't even think he was really hurt. You know, when players get tired of playing for a team, the first thing to do is pull up lame. Like Jalen Ramsey did. When
you're not going to play a lot of rookies like that. Rookies make mistakes.
A lot.
You got to have veteran leadership around them.
Oh, right?
And they don't have that.
And somebody's got to show them how to be professional, you know, because they come in, this ain't college ball anymore, kid. This is what you got to do. You got to take care of your body, number one. You got to eat right. You got to do this right. And you got to be able to heal up between games. You got 5 days to get over some things that you're getting paid for to come out and do. So here's how you do it. There's a lot to learn. And I think that's what happened to Drake Jackson last year with the 49ers. Drake thought he was back at SC, I guess, because he ran completely out of gas midway through the season. Drake, man, you can't be eating corn.
Got to get him right now.
Yeah, he's getting right now.
And I read this report on Yahoo Sports today, 2019 draft, the year you guys drafted Nick. That's how I discovered you when you went viral, the draft day.
Oh, yeah.
Defensive end Nick Bosa reportedly warned, you know how they have meetings, and I guess the Cardinals met with him before the draft. He says defensive end Nick Bosa reportedly warned Cardinals former GM Steve Kine that if they drafted quarterback Kyler Murray, he'd
haunt them forever.
He'd haunt them. You know about that?
And the way Klein described it, the guy said with such a deadpan. First, he had both Cliff and I. He had his arm around both our shoulders as he's walking along, and he sort of like said it like he says it. I know you guys are going to get for that little quarterback, but I'm telling you, if you do, I will haunt you forever. Both are scary. You know what? It is a thing, Tony, because Cliff and Kyle, they said, well, He's wrong because we're not staying here.
Hey, did you know Kingsbury? You remember when Kingsbury got fired? He went off to Thailand or whatever, disappeared. You know he's back.
Yeah, I thought I saw him getting a job. I thought I read he's going to be on somebody's staff as a quarterbacks coach.
Yeah, SC. I think at SC. Yeah.
You know,
he's under Lincoln Route. SC. Yep.
SC is famous for having ragtag. You know that coaching staff that they just got. Man, SC. If I'm the chancellor of the campus, I said, listen, guys. I know we got a lot of things to talk about, academics and things like that. But what I want to know is, can we get a real coaching crew? That last crew last year made us into a joke, and everybody knew about them except for me. If I a chance, because I'm everybody talked badly about that coaching staff, and they went the whole season. Did they go 2 seasons with that staff? They got rid of them last year, right?
All I know is that the Pac-12 championship game, Utah was hitting USC so hard they quit. They quit in the third. They quit, man, and they act like they didn't want to play.
Tony, when you say quit, you don't mean they walked off the field. They just quit. I mean, you mean it's quit. They stayed on the field till the clock went out, though, but just didn't play.
Yeah. They were getting hit, man, and
that's embarrassing.
Utah's not a talking team, but they was talking to them and they beat their ass, Ronbo.
Well, that's embarrassing.
They physically and mentally beat USC.
God, and that means if you're a student at SC, you know, campus, man, people will talk. I mean, some of the biggest fights, NFL fans are one thing, but campus fights and arguments.
Yeah.
It's actually more emotionally charged. It gets really crazy. Oh.
And then USC turned around and lost their bowl game to Tulane, and that running back Ty J. Spears to everybody like he ran for almost 200 on them. Lost the bowl game too to Tulane.
I can't believe they were in a bowl game.
Yeah. Yep. And Colin Cowherd was hyping USC all year. He loves Lincoln Riley, but they got their ass kicked in that championship game in the bowl game.
And Tony, you know what a shame is? SC used to be one of the perennial schools for NFL ball players. You graduate SC, you're going to come out and you automatically got scouts waiting for you. They're asking your name. They got you coming in for tryouts and everything else. And, now SC.
And they still do. They still get football players in the NFL, but it's not like it used to. The powerhouse is what you're saying.
I mean, it's not like the SEC schools. Bama's, you know what though? Bama's always been competing as far as one of the best schools in football. Bama, Clemson, not so far back, but they were still. But Bama's always been there. The Texas schools.
I miss Florida State and Miami. They used to be really good.
Yeah,
they didn't went down.
They had a rep too, did they? Yeah.
Yeah, especially Miami with 2 Live Crew. That was funny. Now it's Georgia. I don't think Georgia's reign is going to last too much longer. I really don't.
Georgia will always. Your best running backs always seem to like to go to Georgia, though.
Yeah. Garrison Hurst, Terrell Davis. The list goes on and on.
Where'd Eric Dickerson go to school?
SMU.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
Texas
but they were getting paid, him and Craig James. They were getting
Texas
paid.
Schools, that's true. The Texas schools used to, and in Texas, it's not coming from the campus fund. It's coming from the what do we call the guys that graduate? It's coming from the boosters. The
friends of the program. Let's call it friends of the program.
And you say, is that whose house is that? Why do you ask? I saw Eric Dickerson coming out of that house the other day. I don't know.
Oh,
you lie! You guys bought that house. That's $1 million.
The story about the Trans Am that was in the paper. That Eric Dickerson got this brand new Trans Am. He said, "Where'd you get the money for that?" Oh, my mom got that. My mom bought that. She worked. She bought that.
They've had movies about that, Tony. People come over to people's houses, and they sit there and they talk to them about, well, we got a program set up, and listen, tell you what we're going to do. We're going to make sure that not only is he going to be set up for nothing but success, we're going to also take care of the entire family. Now, if you can get him to sign, and if he agrees, then we're going to be in good. And you see these things happening. It's about as illegal as it's going to get. Well, the AAU's kind of clamped down on some of that stuff now, but still, it's still happening.
Yeah, because the University of Texas was pissed off because I guess Eric Dickerson committed to Texas, but then Texas A&M made him an offer he couldn't refuse, and then the Trans Am stuff came out, and then he just said, "Get it." He went to SMU.
It's crazy. Big money. Football's big money. And now college players are going to start getting paid. They can take photos and stuff and get paid without being penalized, right? So I says, you guys should have always let them. They could have been doing shoes. This is nothing but money, money, money for all the companies and everybody involved. The school has a stadium capacity of 100,000 people. The school's not going to be hurting for any money. You're paying your coach how many millions of dollars a year? Please, give the kids a break.
And those coaches can leave whenever they want. When the heat gets on, they can leave whenever they want. Like P.D. Carroll, I'll never forget him lying to the cameras. I love UFC. I'll never leave. And then 2 weeks later, he was in Seattle. I'll never forget. That was at the Rose Bowl. I'll never forget that. Yeah,
unbelievable.
But those football players, they make a lot of money for the university. Then the other different sports, they get bad. Well, how come the football team gets this and we don't get it?
Yeah, that's always the biggest moneymaker.
The team don't fill this stadium with 75,000 people.
Because first of all, basketball, the facilities aren't big enough to hold as much money as they can make in football stadiums. So
Exactly.
I gotta go. It's always fun talking to you. I'll be back Tuesday, and let's see what's cooking.
Tuesday pre-draft, my friend. Pre-draft. It's time to get the last I's dotted and the T's crossed.
Yes. Have a great night, Tony. I'm looking forward to hearing from you Tuesday.
Maybe the Rams might want to trade with y'all. Tell them no.
But the Rams,
we don't want nothing y'all got.
I mean, we'll take care of Donald. And you guys got to pay half his salary, Rudy.
Exactly. Give him a 7th round pick in return.
We got 3. You can afford one more.
Yes, sir.
All right. Night, Tony. Oh, God. So it's funny. So that means the Rams are going to be the biggest. We were messing with the Hawks, but the Rams are taking a lot of heat off the Hawks. I don't care about the Hawks anymore. Now it's all about L.A. Boy, and I'd have a little more sympathy if they would just stop. They won't stop. All right. Rudy's got a couple of guys now that come over to help him now on Twitter. Rudy, you're still not winning. Throw the damn towel. Please subscribe and hit that like, and I'll look for you on Tuesday as we get ready for 2023, the NFL Draft.